Annika Show! Starring, well, her.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Annika Show, where today we will have a famous philosopher, John Rawls.
Hello. Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
So, John, tell me about yourself.
Well, I was born in 1921 in the nice town of Baltimore, Maryland. My father was a prominent lawyer, and my mother was part of the women's group that tried to get women the right to vote. I studied at Princeton and later Oxford before teaching at Cornell, MIT, and the very prestigious Harvard. After that, I was an infantryman in World War II, and that inspired me a lot to speak out against the war in Vietnam. And that's basically my early life history.
Wow, not much of a resume. Sounds like you've been slacking off a little bit. So, for those of us average Americans, can you please describe your political theories?
I would love to. Political philosophy can be broken down into three main categories: political liberalism, the law of the people, and justice as fairness.
Alright, sounds good so far.
So let me explain myself a little further. Political liberalism can be broken down into two main principles: legitimacy and stability.
Okay.
Legitimacy is the idea that a diverse group of people can come together under one government. They can be governed by one set of laws as long as everybody being governed is a reasonable citizen.
So, John, what do you mean by a reasonable citizen?
A reasonable citizen is one who, although possessing their own beliefs, is willing to conform to a certain standard of society on the principle that everybody else in that society is willing to conform as well. It's, in essence, the will of the people to be governed under a set of laws that, although has to govern a diverse group of people, fits citizen-specific needs.
So a reasonable citizen respects diversity and chooses to cooperate in society?
Correct.
Okay, so you've mentioned stability. What does that entail?
Stability is kind of a play off legitimacy. It's the belief that although possibly for different reasons, everyone will obey the law. So it's the only way to come about a society that will be able to withstand the test of time.
Okay. Seems like you have it all figured out. Right, audience?
I like to think so.
So tell me, what is justice as fairness?
Justice as fairness is the idea that the way a person is born, race, gender, anything like that, should have no impact on the way they are viewed in society, should have no merits or repercussions.
Equality sounds good to me.
It is basically equality, but it runs a little deeper than that. It's the fact that the law should mandate equality. It's that everyone should have the same opportunities, and the offices that enforce these opportunities should be held open to everyone in the public.
Woohoo! Vote Annika for 2012! But seriously, that sounds pretty accurate in the US.
Although the US is probably the most developed country in justice as fairness, we're not perfect and we still have a ways to go. For example, we just elected our first non-white president and we haven't had a woman in office yet.
It's amazing your political philosophies still apply today. It's like you went to an Ivy League school or something.
Yeah, it is still an honor to be remembered and to have my theories still applicable today.
Okay, well, after this short commercial break, we will be right back with John's third political theory.
Tired of boring old weights? Push-ups got you down? Well, not anymore, thanks to the revolutionary shake weight! Some people doubt the shake weight.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But they haven't done their homework. The results are unmistakable.
To receive your shake weight today and start on your fitness journey, just call the number on your screen. That's 1-800-SHAKE-IT. 1-800-SHAKE-IT. If you call within the next 15 minutes, we'll double your order free with your paid offer. Once again, the shake weight is only $19.95.
Welcome back to the Annika Show. If you missed the beginning of our show, we are here with philosopher John Rawls. John.
Hello, everybody.
So let's not waste any more time. John, would you like to talk about your third principle?
I would love to. My third principle is called the laws of the people. It's probably the most fundamental belief of political psychology.
The laws of the people, like democracy?
It's a little more basic and fundamental than that. It's the idea that all societal evils can be erased and revoked just by having more countries use just societal policies and laws.
So it aims to weed out the one bad apple.
Essentially, yes. It's the idea that if every country has good domestic politics and stable domestic politics, that in the end it can come together in global tranquility.
Wow, political philosophy is quite complex. I need to write this down.
Actually, I've written a few books on the subject.
Naturally. Why am I not surprised?
I actually brought a few of them with me today. I have Justice as Fairness, The Law of the Peoples, Political Liberalism, and A Theory of Justice.
Wow, may I take a look?
Of course. A Theory of Justice was my first book. It's a basic overview of all my beliefs on political philosophy, and then each subsequent book discusses one of the three principles in more depth.
I have heard of A Theory of Justice. Many say it has defined moral philosophy since the end of World War II. How do you feel about that?
I can't take all the credit as much as I wish I could. I owe many of my beliefs to the work of Immanuel Kant. His work on the perception of peace is, I feel, the result of political philosophy, so what I did was kind of build the groundwork for his beliefs.
So Kant's theory is the result of your theory?
More or less, yes.
Do you credit anyone else in your principles?
Yes, I credit much to John Locke. His original thoughts on the consent of the governed are much like mine. He inspired my thoughts of the reasonable citizen and the law of the people, so although some technicalities in our beliefs and theories differ, much of it remains the same.
You came on the scene a little late. The men you worked off of lived way before you. How has this affected you?
It's actually been a little bit of a blessing in disguise. It's allowed me to leave my own historical footprint. I credit my own work as more of a revival of political philosophy and Kantian principles, theories that people had thought had kind of died out and were old. So my historical impact, I guess, would be the revival of political philosophy and just letting modern philosophers know that it still is a very relevant and real theory.
So would you consider your historical impact the basis of your contemporary relevance?
To a degree, while my historical impact is more of reviving political philosophy, my contemporary relevance lies in the continuation of government, actually. As long as there are politics, laws, society to be governed, political philosophy will stay relevant.
So it's no wonder they call you the modern father of political philosophy. Well, that wraps up our time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Starring Monica and Carlie as John Rawls. Special shout out to Allie for the wardrobe.